Prevailing wage laws necessitate that employers compensate workers on public projects with wages that are no less than the average wage paid to comparable workers in the same area and trade. These laws are designed to shield workers from unjust compensation and guarantee that public projects are finished at equitable and competitive prices. In Michigan, the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, abbreviated LEO, is tasked with enforcing the Prevailing Wage Act. LEO possesses the power to probe claimed infractions, carry out audits, and inflict penalties on contractors who neglect to adhere to the regulations. A prevalent infringement of prevailing wage legislation involves the act of two-tiering, wherein contractors cite an elevated labor rate to satisfy prevailing wage mandates but do not genuinely remunerate their employees at that specific rate. This action is deemed unlawful and can precipitate grave repercussions. Consequences of violating prevailing wage regulations may encompass, firstly, penalties imposed by LEO, secondly, debarment from engaging in public projects, thirdly, erosion of reputation and trust, and fourthly, legal actions initiated by employees seeking unpaid earnings. To avert contravening prevailing wage statutes, contractors ought to firstly meticulously scrutinize the prevailing wage rates applicable to the distinct project and locality, secondly, provide quotations for projects grounded in the requisite prevailing wage rates, thirdly, sustain precise records of employee wages and hours worked, and fourthly, stand prepared to furnish documentation to LEO if requested. Should you suspect that a contractor is infringing upon prevailing wage laws, you retain the prerogative to report such activity to LEO by dialing 517.284-1959 or by lodging a complaint online at the provided Michigan government website. Prevailing wage laws are designed to ensure fair compensation for workers on public projects. These laws are crucial for maintaining a level playing field in the construction industry and protecting workers' rights. Understanding these laws and ensuring compliance is essential for contractors and workers alike. Firstly, it is important to understand the definition of prevailing wage. It is the hourly wage, usual benefits, and overtime paid to the majority of workers, laborers, and mechanics within a particular area. Prevailing wages are determined by the Department of Labor, often through surveys of wages paid to workers in similar trades in a specific locality. These rates are project-specific, meaning the prevailing wage rate can vary depending on the location and type of work being performed. Secondly, compliance with prevailing wage laws is not merely a suggestion, it's a legal obligation for contractors working on public projects. Failing to adhere to these laws can result in severe penalties, including fines, debarment from future projects, and even criminal charges in some cases. It is important to maintain accurate records of employee wages and hours worked. This documentation is essential for demonstrating compliance with prevailing wage requirements and can be crucial in the event of an audit or investigation. The documentation includes payroll records, timesheets, and any other records that support the wages paid to employees. Thirdly, contractors need to understand the common violations of prevailing wage laws. One of the most frequent violations is misclassifying employees to avoid paying the correct wage rate. For example, a contractor might classify a skilled worker as a laborer to pay them a lower wage. Another common violation is failing to pay the correct overtime rate. Prevailing wage laws typically require overtime pay for any hours worked over 40 in a work week. It is also important to understand the concept of fringe benefits. Prevailing wage rates often include a component for fringe benefits, such as health insurance, retirement plans, and paid time off. Contractors must either provide these benefits to their employees or pay the equivalent cash value. Fourthly, if a contractor is found to be in violation of prevailing wage laws, the consequences can be significant. In addition to the financial penalties, the contractor may also be debarred from bidding on future public projects. This can have a devastating impact on the contractor's business. Moreover, the contractor's reputation can be severely damaged, making it difficult to attract and retain skilled workers. Employees who are not paid the prevailing wage have the right to sue their employer to recover the unpaid wages. This can result in costly litigation for the contractor. Fifthly, it is important to know what to do if you suspect a violation of prevailing wage laws. Workers who believe they have not been paid the prevailing wage should first try to resolve the issue with their employer. If that is not possible, they can file a complaint with the Department of Labor. Contractors who suspect that another contractor is violating prevailing wage laws can also report it to the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor has the authority to investigate alleged violations and take enforcement action against contractors who are found to be in violation. Sixthly, the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, LEO, plays a crucial role in enforcing prevailing wage laws in the state. LEO conducts audits of contractors to ensure compliance with prevailing wage requirements. LEO also investigates complaints of prevailing wage violations. LEO has the authority to issue penalties against contractors who are found to be in violation of prevailing wage laws. These penalties can include fines, debarment, and even criminal charges. Seventhly, contractors can take several steps to ensure compliance with prevailing wage laws. Firstly, they should carefully review the prevailing wage rates for each project before submitting a bid. Secondly, they should properly classify their employees based on the work they are performing. Thirdly, they should pay the correct overtime rate for all hours worked over 40 in a work week. Fourthly, they should either provide fringe benefits to their employees or pay the equivalent cash value. Fifthly, they should maintain accurate records of employee wages and hours worked. Eighthly, prevailing wage laws are designed to protect workers and ensure that they are fairly compensated for their work on public projects. These laws also help to maintain a level playing field in the construction industry, preventing contractors from undercutting wages to win bids. Compliance with prevailing wage laws is essential for contractors who want to work on public projects. Ninthly, the information provided is intended for general guidance and informational purposes only, and does not constitute legal advice. It is essential to consult with legal counsel or a qualified professional for advice tailored to your specific situation. State and federal regulations regarding prevailing wage laws are subject to change, so it is important to stay updated on the latest requirements. Tenthly, the benefits of complying with prevailing wage laws extend beyond avoiding penalties and legal issues. By paying fair wages and benefits, contractors can attract and retain skilled workers, leading to higher quality work and increased productivity. Compliance also enhances a contractor's reputation, making them more competitive in the market. In conclusion, understanding and complying with prevailing wage laws is crucial for contractors working on public projects. By following the steps outlined and staying informed about the latest regulations, contractors can protect themselves from legal issues, maintain a positive reputation, and contribute to a fair and equitable construction industry. Additionally, workers also benefit from prevailing wage laws, ensuring fair compensation and protecting their rights.